Please help me to reach 1,000 subscribers. When Emily looked me squarely and said, "We have our own lives, Daniel. You don't need to know what I do or where I go," something inside me broke. For years, I had been the reliable husband, covering bills, fixing the plumbing, showing up to family events with a cheerful face. Meanwhile, Emily had been increasingly distant, constantly on her phone, always busy with people I didn't even know. I kept telling myself it was temporary, that every marriage goes through quiet patches. But that night, her words didn't feel like a passing phase, they felt like a verdict. She wasn't asking for space, she was telling me I didn't matter. I leaned back in my chair, forcing my calm. "Separate lives?" I said slowly. She barely glanced up, scrolling through messages as if I wasn't there. I nodded. "Fine. Separate lives it is. But if that's what you want, then our finances are separate too." Her head snapped up. "What do you mean?" "I mean I've been supporting this marriage financially while you've been doing whatever it is you do. If I'm not your partner, I won't be your ATM either." Shock and anger crossed her face. "You wouldn't dare," she spat. "Oh, I would," I said. I stood, grabbed my laptop, and began moving money into an account solely under my name. I had kept a hidden safety net all these years just in case. That night it was finally being used. "You can't just cut me off," she yelled. "Marriage isn't like that." I laughed, bitter. "Marriage? You just told me we don't have one. You want freedom? You'll get it, but don't expect me to fund it." For the first time in years, I saw fear flicker in her eyes. Emily had been bold only because she assumed I'd never push back. Now she was about to learn how wrong she was. Her attempts to regain control came in shaky sentences. "Daniel, don't be absurd. You can't just freeze our money. We built this life together." I leaned against the doorframe, arms crossed. "Built together, or did I build while you enjoyed the ride? Be honest. You haven't contributed to the mortgage in years. The vacations, the car, the credit cards maxed out on dinners I wasn't even invited to, all mine. All me." She opened her mouth, but no words came. For once, she had no comeback. The next morning I followed through. Paychecks rerouted, joint account frozen, credit cards under review. By noon, her phone was buzzing with declines. That evening, I walked into the living room to find her pacing. "What the hell, Daniel? My car didn't run at work today. Do you realize how embarrassing that was?" I set my briefcase down calmly. "Not as embarrassing as finding out your wife thinks she's single while spending my money." She narrowed her eyes. "This is punishment. You're trying to control me." "No," I said evenly. "I'm giving you exactly what you asked for. Separate lives. You handle your bills, your luxuries, your secrets. I'll handle mine." Her face turned pale. Emily had enjoyed the freedom of doing what she wanted while I covered everything. Without my money, the illusion crumbled. Her friends stopped inviting her out, yoga classes went unpaid, salon appointments canceled. Slowly, her glamorous life built on my paycheck began to unravel. One evening, I found her alone at the kitchen table, staring at her phone. "Something wrong?" I asked. Her eyes were red. "Daniel, can we talk?" I didn't mean what I said. I was angry. I shook my head. "No, Emily. You meant every word. Now you're just upset because living on your own isn't as easy as you thought." Her apology sounded empty, rehearsed. I'd heard it before. Every time I backed off, she dangled promises and then went right back to the same habits. This time I didn't take the bait. I sat across from her. "You're not sorry," I said. "You're scared. Scared of losing the comfort of my commitment while pretending to be independent." Tears welled in her eyes. "That's not true. I love you, Daniel. I was just confused. Love doesn't hide behind secrecy. It doesn't vanish when asked for honesty. Love isn't saying you want separate lives while expecting me to fund them." She tried to argue, but I raised a hand. "I've already spoken to a lawyer. Accounts are separated. The house will be sold and proceeds divided fairly. You'll have enough to live on, but not off me anymore." Color drained from her face. Panic replaced the arrogance she had worn for months. She hadn't been ready for independence. In the weeks that followed, I moved into a smaller, quieter apartment downtown. Emily called and texted at all hours, pleading for a second chance, but I ignored her. I had already started mine. One Saturday, walking along the river, I ran into an old friend, Claire. Conversation flowed effortlessly. No games, no pretenses, just laughter and memories. It struck me, this was the companionship I had been missing. By the time the divorce was finalized, Emily looked like a shadow of herself. She avoided my eyes, murmuring a faint, "Goodbye, Daniel." I walked away, head held high, my future wide open. For the first time in years, I wasn't surviving a draining marriage. I was free. And that freedom was worth more than anything she had ever pretended to give. Please help me to reach 1,000 subscribers.